Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to Partnership for Profits. Super happy to be here today with two very cool guests. We're talking to Eli Libby and Kyle Nelson of Solo Retreat. You guys are two people who have turned your burnout into a breakthrough, is what I have here on my notes. Super excited to get into what you guys' story and what you guys are up to. Tell me a little bit about Solo Retreat real quick. Introduce yourselves. Tell us about yourselves. Tell us a little bit about the company and what you guys do.
Dude, Will, we are so stoked to be on this episode of the Partnerships for Profit podcast. Thank you so much for having us, man. Love the intro. That pumped me up, gave me some energy.
And thank you for pronouncing my name right. You have no idea how many people introduce me as Eli Libby, and at that point, I'll shut the camera off. So thank you for not ruining it.
Why would you look at Eli and think that's Ellie? They gotta have two L's for Ellie. Eli.
Somebody that I will ring you, and I will just put your face right in front of them. Because it's horrible, man. You've seen it more times than most people. A lot.
I'll try not to refer to Ellie here later. I'll keep it as Eli. I'll keep it.
Yeah. Camera will go off. No, man. Thank you so much. Background about Kyle and I. We are best friends first and foremost for the last 13, going on 14 years now, and we've started 4 different companies together. And we believe in the power of a co-founder and the relationship and the yin and yang that you can build. And you hear about, not going into business with a best friend or bringing, family involved. And Kyle and I have been able to do that very well and very successfully. We're not family. We kind of look like brothers, but we're not.
So, yeah.
If I wore my glasses today, I would probably pull that off. But that's kind of the background about us. We met at a dinner in Chico, California. And then we ended up being co-founders in a social network for action sports. And we led the marketing and the content there. And then ever since then, we've just kind of been connected to the hip.
Yeah, I've only gotten like 3 fist fights so far. So it's not too bad.
Might be 4 today if he calls me Ellie. So yeah, we'll see, man.
He calls me Ellie. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he won't revert to that.
I know. But I mean, that's just kind of a little bit about us together. I didn't give much background about me. Any gaps you want to fill in or color that you want to draw on the line there?
No, I just, we this new company that we started a couple years ago is kind of the pinnacle of everything that has gone through in our life, and the journey we've walked together as business owners and co-founders, and we're really excited to share it with whoever wants to listen. It's a really unique business model that we've created, and people love it. They're going through our program, seeing transformation, and it's been a really cool experience.
Awesome. Love that. I love the fact that you guys have been friends for so long and you doing business together. You guys said that when we came on the pod, I was like, how'd you guys hear about the pod? And we had to do some detective work to figure out how you guys heard about the podcast. You said Armando had reached out to you guys. Armando owns our company. Armando and I have been the best of friends for 25 years. I didn't start working with him in this company until about 4 years ago, but we've been tight for 25 years. And I remember when he asked me to come on and work with him, told my wife, and she was like, are you sure you want to do that? Is that a smart idea? And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I? Like, we're pals, like, and we speak the same language. And so, you were talking about family. His sister works in the company as well. So it's a real family environment that we have, and we've been able to make it work. So I love hearing that other people are able to kind of have that same vibe and make it work. Because you do hear a lot of people being, don't work with your friends, don't work with your family. But I think it's all in just how you communicate with each other and not taking things personally, which you've been friends for a long time. It's easy to not take things personally when you're working with somebody you're really close with. So very cool that you guys have got that in place. And I know, I'm sure you guys fight. We fight all the time. We butt heads, but it's very, very cool. So tell me about Solo Retreat. Tell me about the genesis of that. What was going on in your lives when you realized that this was something you guys needed to do?
Yeah, we can start with kind of the beginning and why we did this company and where it came from and how did you come up with this? So this company didn't start with a business plan. It started with my own personal breaking point in life. Back in 2018, November 8th, I was living in Paradise, California, and I experienced one of the worst, most catastrophic fires in United States history called the Camp Fire.
Yeah.
And I lost my home. I lost my parents' home.
Oh, wow.
business, and lost my community and sense of feeling of belonging. And unfortunately, the day before that, on November 7th, me and my wife also had a miscarriage. So I lost a little one that was on the way. And so I was going through so much loss and just so much hurt during that part of my life. A lot of times, people talk about valleys and peaks of life. I was digging a trench in the valley. Like the valley was like the top for me. But being who I was, being invested in personal development and self-help and resiliency, and something that I've always really been proud about myself, having an understanding of those things, what I did was I just moved forward, head down. And unfortunately, when you do that, you begin to suppress those feelings and you put them in the back and you don't deal with them. And I did that for years and years and years, up until April 21st of 2021. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and I looked at myself in the mirror and I did not know who I was looking at. The person looking back at me, I didn't recognize. I was completely numb and I didn't see a future. I didn't even see a next day. I didn't see how that day was going to happen. And I was ready to end my life. But fortunately, somehow, somewhere, I heard the word escape in that moment. And most people would see that as validation of, oh, okay, I need to escape my life. But I saw it in a different way of actually escaping the noise and everything and the pressures of everything going on in my life. And so I talked to my wife, talked to Eli, and I went on a solo retreat. Didn't know what that was at the time. Had no clue going by myself was a thing, and solitude and stillness, I didn't know what that was. And my wife just kind of got some journal prompts for me and some activities and exercise just to work on myself and kind of see what my priorities are in life. And during those few days out on the Oregon coast, my life completely transformed. It completely changed. I re-identified who I was moving forward. I was not going to let my past identify who I was. I forgave myself for things that I needed to do, but I really looked at those emotions straight in the eye and I dealt with them. I cried, I laughed, but I moved forward, which was the most important thing. And got plugged in with a therapist right after that. Sure enough, I was diagnosed with depression, severe anxiety, and PTSD. So all of it kind of came together. And I just continued to work on myself a bit more. And after that, of course, Eli had his own stuff he went through, and he can talk on that. But the one thing, as I look back at that moment in my life and those years of pain I went through in this solo retreat, in the moment you think all of it's for you, and the life couldn't get any more worse. And why am I doing this? But in retrospective, or introspective, looking in and saying that, wow, this was a gift that was given to me, not only just to share with other people in a business, but to share with my best friend, because he was going through some really hard times that I'll let him jump in. But thank God I heard the word escape. I went on a solo retreat and I completely transformed the outlook of my life.
Real quick, I want to hear Eli's story too. The solo retreat that you went on, did you go camping? Were you like, what did that look like? Like, how did you say you're on the Oregon coast? Was it just back to nature, or what was it?
Man. So I just got this little Airbnb cottage, like connected to some guy's garage with a nice view of the water. And it was kind of like really outdated. It was simple and minimalistic, but I'm glad that's what it was. I was not distracted. I didn't have fancy technology. There was no game room. It was this small little 1-bedroom place with actually like folding chairs outside that were breaking. I don't even know if we really talked about the place I ever went to. They were like falling apart, but it was like I needed to have that complete, like just putting myself in place, humanizing myself, of just kind of going to a dump. And it wasn't great. Yeah, and then I did a lot of hiking, a lot of walking on the coast, right on the beach. Went downtown, grabbed some coffee at a coffee shop, and just reflected some. But for the most part, I was kind of just sitting in this little Airbnb and just reflecting on my life.
Cool. I was just kind of curious, what that environment looked like, because I think the idea of the solo retreat sounds great. I would love to do something like that, but I think kind of minimalizing what's around you can really help kind of center yourself. So that's I'm sure that's where it came from. Eli, tell me about kind of your story with this as well.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. And Kyle kind of alluded to it, but when he had gotten back a couple weeks later, I had found out that under my nose for the last 6 months, I was being cheated on, and my marriage ended in a divorce. I lost a family member, and our business at the time completely crumbled. And to lay off everybody at once before a certain time that payroll was going to hit, And this all happened in the span of 2 weeks. So I was going through these like bomb back to back. And I kind of hit this breaking point that I had no clarity. I had no reason why. I didn't know why this was happening. The question kept coming up, like, is this me? Like the death in the family, that's not me, obviously, but the business crumbling and me having to sit people around the table and remove the ability for them to put food on the table. Like, was that our decision? Could we have saved them? And then the marriage at the same point, right? All this was happening at the same time. So I was lucky enough Kyle went through what he did, and to hear the word like remove the noise it hits differently for different people. But for me, that was like you've got all these expectations that and this pressure that's coming and these internal questions and internal noise. Go shut everything off, man. Literally shut the world off. So I escaped and retreated to the mountains. That's really my happy place. And you ask about Kyle. And what we do today and the evolution of that is we help people find what is that place that they find solitude and stillness in. And where do they find peace? So for me, it's the mountains. It always has been and always will be. So I retreated there and I did some primitive journal prompts and I just went through some of this kind of early phase stuff that we had and came back with clarity. And I came back with this drumbeat of purpose that really allowed me to follow why I was here, the gift that I went through. We believe again that all of these hardships is building this armor of resilience. So the reason that Kyle went through his stuff, I went through my stuff, is so that we can help illuminate the path for other people. And that was the seed that planted is can we change other people's lives, show them that there's a North Star out there by removing the noise and finding that answer from within. And we're lucky enough that we can say that we've been able to do that in a couple different ways now.
Man, I love the idea of this because, you know, in the world that we work in, we work with a lot of attorneys,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of go, and there's a lot of conferences where the other guys in our business are going to a conference this week. There's a lot of masterminds, and those things are great. You know, they're good networking activities and connecting and all that stuff is really, really good. But I really think that there's something to be said for that individual space to really kind of clear things out. So tell me a little bit more about so you guys both came back to your individual solo retreats.
Yep.
Then kind of come together and say, hey, was it just a conversation of, hey, we need to share this with people? How did the idea for this being a business kind of come about, and how did you guys develop it, get it started? And then following that, if you guys can kind of tell me a little bit about
Sure.
what solo retreat is and what you guys provide for people.
Yeah. Typically, Eli and I come together with business ideas over coffee or beer. This one,
just raw. Yeah.
This one was a coffee.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other and we're like, it's time to do something different. We're burnt out. We're done with dealing with clients was the biggest thing. And we got to do something different. And we just were like, man, we have so many people that tell us we're gifted in coaching and helping people walk through and move forward in life and inspiring others. And so we started getting into life coaching a bit and coaching others just with accountability and goal setting. And that's a very, very red market. Like it is so many coaches out there. Yeah. And like, why isn't this quite hitting?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, we're like, well, what worked for us? And we both looked at each other. We're like, holy crap, solo retreats. That's what worked for us, and that's what we're going to do. And so then from there, we just started really getting the curriculum together, the business model, the offer, and really figuring out how we're going to go to market with it. And you know, it's a developing business. We luckily pretty excited that recently we came out with our book, bestseller, The Art of a Solo Retreat, which we'll talk about in a bit. But it's just been this evolution of how do we deliver a product and a service and an experience to people by removing the actual facilitator. And that is something that there's really not anything else out there. No one else is really doing that. Most people are doing group retreats.
Yeah.
You know, they go on vacations. They're doing the group coaching and masterminds. What we believe in is the answer is introspective. It's you. And when you find the answer yourself of whatever that clarity or purpose is and that alignment, the fire that is lit and the intrinsic motivation you have after that without someone feeding it to you is unstoppable. And that's what we've seen through this program. And it's been really exciting from the moment we thought, holy crap, this is what worked for us, developed it all, and then pushed it to the market to see the validation and the success that people are having.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it look like? Like the program, like how does it? Do you just, is it a book? Like I know you guys have written the book. Like, but I think I saw on your website there's a box you might get in the mail or something. Like, tell me a little bit about like what does the program look like?
Yep.
Is it a program? Is that even the right word? Maybe calling it the wrong thing.
Great to put it, honestly. So the people that are coming to our program, kind of like we've all kind of talked about, they've done the coaching, they've done the masterminds, they've done the courses, they've read all the personal development books, and they're still hitting a wall, and they can't figure out whether it's a roadblock in life, lack of clarity, maybe misalignment of purpose and what they're doing and why they're doing it on the short time that we have on this earth. What is it? So they're coming to us ultimately through some channel, and we're sitting down with them and really picking apart, what does it look like if you had clarity, or if you removed some of these limiting beliefs, what is possible? If they're a good fit for the program, we are sitting down with them at that point and finding a location for them. That could be what fits for them. So we have access to over 7,000 different spots that are vetted by us, meaning they are small, quaint, 1 to 2 bedroom max spots, typically have a patio or a viewpoint or some access to nature. And we're booking that spot for them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. So we're going to book that spot for them. We're going to send them everything. The next step then is sending them the retreat program. And that is the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes of this entire program. It's what makes this thing different than going for a rest or a vacation for a weekend, where you're just kind of, you're taking some time off, but you're going to come back into the same noise without any clarity. Or you're going to go there with a journal and it's going to be blank and it'll come back blank because you don't have any structure. So the program is guided workbooks, meditations, audio notes, activities, exercises, all with the intention to double click into who you are, why you are the way you are, and then do some vision crafting at the end of it. And that provides the structure for your retreat. It is a digital detox experience. It is pen to paper. It's tangible. It's something different. And then you're coming back and we're helping you integrate. And integration is the most important part, because you could slip and backslide right back into where you were before. As the noise comes back and the volume cranks back up on life and the chaos and expectations, how do you protect that newfound clarity? And how do you protect some of the things that you said you were going to do? And how do you stay accountable? And that's where Kyle and I come in. We help them integrate. We help them be accountable in a one-on-one setting. Then we can bring them into a tribe, this kind of online community that we have. We can bring them into a group mastermind that we have, or we can send them into kind of an in-person group retreat with people that have gone through the experience. So that's the evolution of the program.
So it's a one-on-one or a one-on-two, I should say, with you guys. Everyone that comes in works with you guys exclusively, or you have other folks? It's just you two.
It's us, yeah. And there's a why behind everything that we do. And the reason we love interacting with these people when they come back is really it allows us to fill our cup of fulfillment. And when Kyle and I sat down and had that coffee, it was like, man, I feel like we're not doing anything that's like filling our cup and bringing us fulfillment and joy in life. So when they come back, hearing them say this changed my life really is the way that we can pour back into them and fill our cup of fulfillment.
Yeah, man. When you see someone transform based off of work you've done with them, there's nothing better than that transformative experience. That when you get to see it in someone else, it's great to have it yourself. It is super important, but when you can facilitate that for someone else to have that transformative experience, we do that. It's not quite as deep as what you guys are doing, but we do that some in our business as well. We do a lot of coaching as far as on-camera coaching and getting out of your shell and getting over imposter syndrome. And when we see people kind of get through that, it's so fulfilling. It's just like, yeah, okay. I helped them do that and they got there themselves. It's great. It's great. I understand why teachers love being teachers when you do coaching and stuff like that, because there's nothing really more gratifying in that transformation in people.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's switch a little bit. Let's talk about the book. You were telling me about the book, Kyle, before we came on.
We're
Art of a Solar Retreat.
So we've got The Art of a Solar Retreat, a structured path to reclaiming clarity and purpose in a noisy world. We wrote this book for the individual that may just feel a little stuck in life, or maybe they can't quite just get over the hump, or They don't see movement in their life. And we wrote this in a way that is an easy book to read. It's simple. We didn't want to write some 500-page book because you can about solitude and stillness all day long, but we wanted it to be something that was quick and you could really just grasp it. And it's written around a framework that we came up with that our program follows, the book follows, and our speeches follow. And it's called the Reset Framework. And so it's an acronym. The R is remove the noise. The E is engage with the present. The S is see what's true. The E is envision what's next. And then the last one is take aligned action. And so this allows you just step by step to be able to reset your mind at any moment, how to go and take a solo retreat, the importance of it, some science behind it, which is really cool. And just overall, just educating yourself on really the power and what can happen when you take a step back from all the noise by yourself and do some introspective work. It's a very, very powerful thing that we can do as humans that we don't do a lot. Most people we ask, when was the last time you spent time with yourself? Most people say they've never done it. They've never.
I don't know. Yeah.
And a business trip. I've gone on a business. No, we're talking in the woods or out of Airbnb, door locked. Maybe you're going for some hikes, but working on yourself and getting to know yourself again and just being you. Just being there in the present. Most people haven't done that because it's scary. And you should talk about that piece of science, the Science magazine.
Yeah. There's a whole section in this book that we discovered about a popular science study that was done, and they basically pooled a bunch of people together. They said you have two options. One is to sit with yourself and your own thoughts for 15 minutes, or you can administer a self-shock. And 60% of people said that they want to shock themselves. And it's wild to hear how many people are so uncomfortable with not being distracted by something. We have something in our pocket all the time that is a crutch for distraction. And to sit with your own thoughts and hear what your inner voice is saying is so rare. But that 40% of people that are willing to sit there are the high performers, the people that understand the power of solitude, stillness, and using it as a strategy.
Love that, man. I'm going camping in 2 weeks by myself for 3 days.
There you go.
And I'm super excited about it. The spot where I go, there's no signal there. I can't use my phone. I'll have my phone with me. I can call 911 if I need to, obviously. But yeah, I got my tent, everything's ready to go, and I'm going out in 2 weeks and leaving the kids and the wife at home, and I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. It's been several months since I've been able to go, so I live in the South, and it's too hot down here to go camping in the summertime, but it's cooling off. So yeah, I'm super excited to get back out in the woods and do some of what you guys are talking about. And yeah, I think that you're talking about 40% of people said they want to be shocked. Is that what the number you said, or 60%?
60% want to be shocked. 40% were willing to sit with their own thoughts.
You think that's just? Part of me wonders if they want to be shocked because it's faster, because they don't want to waste time. I don't have enough time. Do it quick. Let me get that change quick. Is that why you think that is, or is there another reason why you think they want to be shocked as opposed to taking that time?
I think it's a two-part thing. I think part of it is time. Absolutely. People are always kind of on the go. What's next? Trying to predict. Our brain is a predictor. So what is next? I think the other part of it is fear. I think fear of discovering something that either they know was wrong and they've kind of gone too far down the path. I think is a really big one.
I think people don't see silence and stillness as productivity.
Yeah.
And in the age that we live in, we have to be productive at all times. And we typically say productivity is on the computer. Like that's what it is for most people. And you're telling me that you can actually get something out of, being in my own thoughts for 15 minutes, let alone 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It's probably one of the most productive things you could do, especially when you're in the midst of chaos. Because you are not seeing through the fog. You're not seeing what's true and what's going on. You're just moving. And a way we kind of look at it is it's like a hamster wheel, right? You're running, you're sprinting, and you think that movement is momentum, but it's not. It's just in place movement. You're not actually getting anywhere. That's what chaos is, because you're not focusing. And if you can take a step back and realign with where you want to head and where you're at in the moment and that actual time in your life, that's when you can actually see forward, because you're removing all that noise. And so I think that's why people can't sit still for 15 minutes. It's just I'm not productive,
Yep.
That's why I like in this podcast. I get it. We do this several times a week, and that's the thing I look forward to the most, is being able to sit down and just talk to people and not, We might go 30 minutes, might go 40 minutes, might go 20 minutes. Just kind of depends on how the conversation goes. But there's no, there's no pressure. It's just a conversation. I love that aspect of it. How long do the solo retreats? How long do they typically last? You mentioned 3 to 5 days. Is that kind of the window that you're looking at with people?
Yeah, it's a mix, depending on what you can squeeze in, but we highly recommend around 4 days. That is kind of the sweet spot that we found that most people can do. And that's how our workbooks are broken out in the phases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really the good sweet spot, because when you get to your location that we've booked you, just like any vacation, you need a little bit of time to kind of decompress,
you gotta settle in,
think, and settle in.
Yeah.
And some people will experience like this fear of being alone. It sounds like you're not like that, but some people will be like, man, like I'm kind of, this is kind of weird. I've never done that.
Right.
So that first night, usually you're traveling, you're decompressing, and then you really feel comfortable, the remaining part of the days.
Yeah.
Are you finding places? So you mentioned the phone, that this horrible thing that we have in our pockets all the time. Is there a way that you're kind of ensuring? I mean, are these places not off the grid, obviously, but like, are you looking for places that don't have Wi-Fi, or what's like? How does that look as far as the unplugging part of it goes? Because I imagine that's pretty important to get unplugged while you're doing this.
Yeah.
It's a complete mix. Some people choose to go to like wellness resorts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they can have their their sauna and their cold plunge and their massages if they need to, and yoga. Other people go to little A-frame cabins. It's really what fits you. There's not one specific thing or place that we really see people go to, but a lot of people love the idea of going in nature because they associate stillness and silence and solitude and kind of regrounding yourself with what's real again. So we try really hard to get that booked in nature. So whether it's in the forest, a lake, or maybe right on the water, like an ocean or something, but it's kind of all over the map.
Mm-hmm. And this is a self-guided experience. It comes down to giving them all of the resources and prepping them prior. And then it's self-discipline at that point. They can the entire time and come back with really nothing. And they can come back and they have to tell their spouse now, hey, honey, I just spent this amount of money and I didn't really get anything out of it. So they're going to get they're going to do the work. And we're doing that vetting kind of pre-retreat.
We do the vetting and we do a pre-retreat coaching call as well. Yeah. So, I mean, we've never had the experience of someone coming out of it being like, wow, that was a waste of time, because we make sure you have that mindset walking into it, and you're walking into it with intention, which is the most important.
You're vetting the folks that are doing the program. You vet them, and you may say, hey, I don't know that you're a good fit for this. Is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a great place to be in, to be able to kind of,
Yeah, it's important. We want to success. We set people up for success, and if they're not in that point of life where they can actually give it their 110%, because you have to with this is a very challenging thing. This is not easy. That's the one thing we make very clear with people is this isn't just going out and hanging out like for 3 days and taking it,
there's work involved.
Yeah, this is real introspective, very deep work, talking about limited beliefs, emotional baggage, self-forgiveness, things that are stuff that we've ignored and put away and never addressed because we know it's hard work to do. But that's what you're doing. But the breakthroughs that you have they're insane that we hear from people's experiences. It's just kind of mind-blowing what a few days just alone can do for you.
Yeah,
100%. Do you guys still take solo retreat yourselves? Is that something you guys still have in your lives?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Try to do once a year.
Once a year is
it's
kind of where we can get to now.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ready for one. I like
yeah,
I need to go on for sure.
Well, how is building this business, solo retreat, how has this changed you guys' relationship as friends?
Oh man, make me hate him even more. I just
I was going to say completely opposite. So sick, dude. Glad you went first.
Well, the whole business is built around self-awareness, an intention of everything that we lead. So it's actually done amazing for us.
Sure. And I think it's this excitement that we feel so out of all the companies that we've started and run. This one just has this level of fulfillment that is a next level. When we get off of a coaching call and somebody says they change their life, or they start to get emotional and they start talking about day 2 and they unpacked self-forgiveness. They finally, for the first time in 55 years, forgave themselves. We get off the phone with so much excitement. There's nothing else that has been like that.
Like we're shaking. We're so excited afterwards.
Awesome.
We're like hugging each other, high-fiving, just because the work that we're doing is actually changing lives. And
it's fun.
It's pretty wild. And to be able to do that with your best friend every single day is, you can't ask for more.
Yep. That's amazing. I love it. So what's ahead for you guys? What's the next 5 years look like for the solar retreat?
It's a great question. A big part of what we're doing right now is we've realized that this is more than just sending some people on solo retreats. This is actually a movement that we're building. This movement is around stillness, removing the noise, and leveraging that as a strategy. I think when you go around, I was in New York a couple weeks ago, and it was one of the biggest eye openers for me. It was actually my first time in New York, but seeing just people glued to looking down and just not knowing what's going on around them. So they need this as a crutch. We heard when we give a talk, we talk about we check our phones on average as people 144 times a day. You look at that thing, and we say you touch glass more than you touch grass. And we live in this age of, we've never been so connected as mankind, but we've never been so disconnected from who we are individually and authentically. So we're building this movement of people, and we're pushing from behind to take more time for yourself and to be more intentional, be more in the moment, and live with a lot of gratitude. So next is more like pushing this movement, speaking, getting our stories out.
And probably another book.
Yep.
But it's just sharing the message. It's a very simple thing, but we overcomplicate solitude.
Totally.
We overcomplicate it, and really it's nothing. Like it's like, why are we complicating nothingness, which is pretty wild. But it's a fear. That's why. And fears are just lies we tell each other. That's all it is.
Fears are just lies we tell each other. I love what you guys are having going on. I love my solitude. I love my moments to myself. My wife is very much the same way. We come together and we talk in the evening every night, but we each take about 30-40 minutes every night where we can just kind of get off and have that quiet time, whether we're reading something or whatever it might be. We both appreciate that. She works an hour from the house. She's got that drive home every day. She says it's like her favorite time of the day. Drive to the woods. We don't live in the city or anything. So she drives to the woods every day and kind of gets her decompression time. And in the night, I go sit out in the backyard and have mine. So everyone should be doing that, in my opinion, whenever you can. And if you can take the retreats, absolutely. You need to get in touch with these guys and get it going. I could talk to you guys about this for a long time. But I know we're all busy. We got lots of stuff going on, but I really do appreciate you guys coming on. Eli, Kyle, thank you so much. Tell people how they can get in touch with you guys, how they can find more about the solar retreat.
We got a whole roulette worth of stuff to tell you. So first, step one is going and getting our book on Amazon. I think it's still prime pricing. I don't think we've taken it down. So it's like $15-20. Go grab it on Amazon. Number two, you can go to our website, solarretreat.co. Eli will jump on a phone call with you, do a whole free custom retreat plan, walk you through the process, see what can happen. We also have every Sunday a newsletter that's growing by hundreds a month called the Weekly Reset. And it happens on Sundays. It's sent out 6 a.m. Pacific time, and it's a quick 5-minute read. We go over different prompts to really close out your week before and open up the new one in a really healthy way. And then, of course, if you're on LinkedIn, look us up, Kyle Nelson, Eli Libby. And we're actually recently just joined Instagram, which is kind of crazy. We just recently joined it, but we're on Instagram now. You just look up Solar Retreat Company and we'll pop up, and we're sharing some really cool stuff on there, some prompts and kind of just about the journey. So it was just a bunch of stuff, but
that's
first,
awesome, man.
That's the most important thing.
Hey, for my own sake, then tell me more about the newsletter. Is that open to everybody, or like how does the newsletter work? The Reset newsletter.
Yeah, so it's called the Weekly Reset, and there is a quote, a question to really think on, and a prompt to think on for the week. There is some different activities and exercises, and it just walks you through it from step 1 to step 5 of just how to reset your week. Because typically we go from Sunday to Monday, and we're just still heads down. We're not actually resetting our nervous system, our mind, reflecting on the past week and setting intention for the upcoming week. So we do that every Sunday. We send out an email, and it helps a lot of people just get in the right mindset and know that, okay, I can I can let go, set aside, and put things to sleep from the last week. And these are the things I actually need to wake up and push forward and really focus on for the upcoming week.
Can you sign up for that on the website?
Yeah, or just go to weeklyreset.co.
Okay. You guys familiar with the term the Sunday scaries?
Yes. Yep.
That sounds like a great way to kind of overcome that and get through that the Sunday scaries that so many people have, where it's 8:00 on Sunday night, you look at your calendar for the next day and you're like, oh shit. So what's that?
You're right. The Monday is coming, and the big part of the newsletter is just being proactive. Instead of waking up on Monday and you're kind of like playing defense all day, like you're going to play offense because you did the work on Sunday night to reset. And then the last part of the newsletter is a moment that we share from our week. And it's a very authentic way that Kyle and I typically share a photo, whether it's something that we did together that week or whether it's something our families did separately. And it's just a cool moment to just kind of connect with us at a very authentic level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. I love what you guys have going on. Love the story. Love the fact that you guys are best friends and you're doing this together. That's amazing. I encourage, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen and watch this show who I know, and I know a lot of these guys, and they are go people. And even the guy that I work for, who is my best friend, needs to slow down and take a breath. So I'm going to make sure that he's traveling today, so he's not watching, but I'm going to make sure that he checks out this episode because I'm always telling him, hey man, take a breath. So love what you guys have going on. Great conversation. Thank you guys so much for giving me some time today. Those of you who are watching the live feed out there, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you are watching after the fact on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, the recorded version, appreciate you guys watching too. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we appreciate you guys. We really love likes and thumbs and stars and all that stuff. So when you are spending one of those 144 times looking at your phone, we hope that you are doing so to follow us and give the show a like and help people like these guys get their word out. So fellas, thank you so much again for coming on. I'm going to be back on. I got another podcast in 20 minutes, so I'll be back on here in about 20. It's a heavy podcast day, and it's another twofer. I got two more people come up. I'm interviewing a duo again in 20 minutes, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But guys, great combo. Really appreciate you guys giving me some time today.
Sure,
and I'm going to be in touch with you guys. I want to get on that newsletter. So
sounds good.
Awesome, Will.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You got it. Take care. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.